I'm hoping that's what this noise is. And the reason I'm talking a lot is because I'm so anxious to put it together and find out. But if I put this on and the noise goes, we are laughing. If it doesn't go, then this car is in for a world of pain, or we're all in for a world of pain. Hello, this is a Mini. It's not my Mini. It belongs to my mother-in-law.
Just by the mere mention of mother-in-law, notice how your audience are emotionally aroused.
Cool. Nothing happened.
This is a Mini Cooper SD. It uses a BMW 2-litre engine, a 2-litre diesel engine, a 2-litre turbo diesel engine. In fact, I think it says something like twin power turbo or something on the top. Now, it's got a problem, and I don't know what the problem is, which makes it harder to fix. The issue is that it produces a rattling noise, quite a nasty one. If I were not a doofus, I would have recorded it before I immobilised the car, because I have actually taken one part off the car already, which is the lower turbo pipe. Sorry about that. So this is a car with a rattle. Now, why have I got this Mini here? You might be asking. You might be thinking, you like do Citroens and TVRs. Why have you got this here? Well, it has some things in common with two of my cars. My Citroen C6 and a Citroen SM, which I've mentioned. I own that one. Yeah, I've talked about that. This car has something in common with both of those cars, or one thing in common with each of these cars. Can you guess what they are? So here is the Mini with the bonnet open, and in the background, the SM's engine. Now, I admit that as things stand, drawing a comparison between a 2-litre diesel BMW engine in this Mini, which is not so mini, it's not actually massive, it's kind of Fiesta size, maybe a teeny bit bigger, but it's a 2-litre BMW turbo, well, twin power turbo. The thing it has in common with the maligned SM engine is, if you know your SM engines, this. No, not the rocker cover. So the SM engine, you're looking at the back of the engine at the moment. This is the, believe it or not, this is the end that goes against the firewall, because the engine goes in back to front. So it has a timing chain here, but it also has a timing chain here between cylinders, and on the other side, which you probably can't see because, no, not really, because the engine's on its arse, but the timing chain is here. So the timing chain goes between the cylinders. So the timing chain is in an abnormal place. And so it is on this, because the timing chain on this car, I don't even think there's any bumps or anything to look at. I think it's all probably just completely hidden. Yes. The timing chain on this, where do you think it is? Do you think it's between the cylinders? Well, no, it's not a Citroen SM. How about here, at the end of the engine? No. It's at this end of the engine, which means if you have to change the timing chain, you have to take the gearbox off. I mean, the SM engine, I kind of get why they've done it, because they tried to make the back of the engine, which would be the front on most cars, smaller. So the engine is very short and fits in, well, the engine bay is like 5 miles long, so I don't know why it needs to be so short, but I think that's why they've done it, to make the engine short. This one, I can only assume they were listening, well, dropping German acid and listening to German heavy death metal music, because I cannot make head nor tail of this. Why would you put the timing chain there? Why would you not put it there? And the thing it has in common with my Citroen C6, dear viewer, as I'm sure you might have figured out already, and it's not just the C6 that suffers this, it's many cars, many newer cars. I mean, can you think of a harder engine to work on? There's no room in it. Everything is just packaged so tightly. And I'm not joking when I say that I've had to remove the headlight, and I still can't get to where I want to get to. You're asking yourself, why are you trying to get down here? The timing chain's over there, and surely you've got to make a start doing loads of other stuff if you suspect the timing chain in this car has had it. Surely you've got to start taking the front end off and preparing to take the engine out. Potentially not. The day we diagnosed this issue was, for many reasons, not a great day, and no one was in a particularly good state of mind. So there are two possible outcomes. The first outcome is that the timing chain on this is goosed, and I don't have any of the specialist equipment to do it. I've rung around for some quotes, I've rung some mini specialists. You're looking at around, are you sitting down for this? It's not even your car. Are you sitting down for this? £3,500 to £4,000 to do that. Once you take into account all the parts, the fact that if you're going to take the gearbox off, you're going to renew the clutch, aren't you? You're not going to put an old one back in. It's got a dual mass flywheel, so that needs doing. And there's something else on the back as well. You have to drop the subframe if you leave the engine in situ. If you don't leave the engine in situ and take it all out, you've got to take the entire front of the car off, which means you've got to pull all the aircon gas out. What's the odds that the air conditioning condenser on this is going to be receptive to being disconnected from its pipes after 130,000 miles? Slim. It mounts up, it's mission creep. So that's one of the things you're faced with. You're faced with that possibility. But the other possibility is that yesterday when I heard the noise again, I thought, actually, is it coming from there? Or is it coming from here? The noise yesterday was much worse. It wasn't a timing chain noise, it was a rattle, clatter, clatter noise. And so I immediately started to think, could the crankshaft pulley have gone? If it's got a vibration damper type crankshaft pulley, remember the old HDIs used to have this issue back in like the noughties? Is it possible the crankshaft pulley damper is falling apart? So I've had a look. And it is. It's absolutely bollocks. This is very good news. Or is it? The reason I'm not sure if it's very good news yet or not is that does it have a timing chain issue and the crankshaft pulley has fallen apart since we heard it? Because the engine hasn't really got hot since, because we haven't been driving it, or she hasn't been driving it, because obviously if it's got a timing chain issue, it might go bang. So she's not been using it, so it's not got warm. And when things get warm, they expand and everything. That's when your timing chains start to rattle. So is it just that we haven't heard this since, and now this is a new issue? Or is this issue the issue we heard last time? It's just it sounds a bit different because it got worse. But if I can run the engine without the drive belt on and with the pulley removed, that will eliminate that issue. If the engine still makes horrible noise, then we know, basically, that we've got bigger problems. If the noise has gone away, and obviously I can't run it too long if it's not charging and things, but if the noise goes away, we might be onto something. So you're saying to yourself, why you stood there talking? Why don't you just take it off and find out? Because it's an absolute knob to get to. I'm going to have to remove the engine mount to take the drive belt off. Seriously, this is so badly packaged. I'll show you. It's the easiest way, I'll just show you. Okay, so the wheel is off and the shit shield is gone. So you can see the bottom pulley, and if I put the light on, observe this. He says, failing to give you anything to observe. There we go, I'm moving it, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. No, you can't see it. Can you just see that burnt rubber in there? You have to trust me on it. You won't be able to see it. The access is appalling. Can you see it there? There you go. So basically that piece there, the bit the belt runs on, is on a rubber bushing which is bonded to the pulley to take out vibrations and things, because it's a big chuntery diesel. Well, it's not big, you know what I mean. It's a diesel, and they do all these things to try and make them smoother. And yeah, basically the rubber is unbonded, and you can kind of see in there it's all minging and burnt up. And I actually discovered this yesterday when I put the aircon on, because it were hot and smoke started pouring out the car. The issue is that, well, you can get to the pulley at the bottom, but that's the tensioner. And you think, oh, that's not that bad, is it? I can't get my fingers between the tensioner and the car. You think, okay, right, so you have to go in at the top then. Take the headlight out. Oh. So there's the belt down there. And yeah. Okay. I can see the pulley. I don't think you'll be able to see it because it's... Nope, it's down there. You'll have to take my word for it. Yeah, I can't get to it. I mean, I think I'm going to have to take the engine mount out. But in doing that, the bit of the head that this bolts to is still going to be in the way. And the engine mount is bolted to these pipes, these aircon pipes, which have gas in them. Do you know, I went on my online invoicing system thing. It said 2.8 hours to do a drive belt. And I thought, well, that's a glitch, that's a mistake. It won't be 2.8 hours to do a drive belt. I do cam belts quicker than that on some cars. That can't be right. I think it might be. So I am now going to fight, and I'll come back to you if I make some progress. That is an absolute dick to remove. That is probably the hardest engine mount I've ever taken out of a car. Needlessly difficult. The access is appalling. And the access still isn't good now, because with the engine mount removed, well, I'll show you. So that's where the engine mount was. Oh, I think it will. Okay. Why? Why does it need to have a piece of plastic there? Right. Oh, there's the tensioner. Still can't see it. This is going to be absolutely horrendous to refit, because you're basically doing it blind. You're just guessing. Oh yeah, that's the pulley. Honestly, I've taken cam belts out that were easier than that. BMW 6PK 1715 is the length. A BMW 1128 8673253. Apparently, yeah, it's actually, it's not bad. I mean, you wouldn't put it back in because it's probably got some damage somewhere because of that pulley. What are all the pulleys like? That's good. Alternator. Good. Tensioner, which would be the hardest thing to get to. Good. Right, ignore me when I'm doing this. I'm a professional. Yes. That's not on, that's on minimum strength as well, so. Damn it. Damn it. If any of those companies that make those impact guns, the electric ones, are watching and they want me to review one, I could do with one, because these windy guns I've got are rubbish. Whoa! There's like bits of goop in here. Is this a... I could change this oil seal as well, couldn't I? Oh my god, what is it? What is that? Oh, these are bits of rubber from the pulley. That means the sump will be full of it. Yay! Because there's no rubber left in the pulley. Look. Oh wow, that's zoomed in. I mean, in theory, I could... Yeah. That's not meant to do that. I was going to start it, wasn't I? But... Oh no, actually I could still do it. I was going to say I was going to start it, but I don't want to start it with no pulley on, because that's obviously an oil seal. But I could put this back on without this, because that's what seals it, just to see if the noise is gone. That would probably make some sense, a little bit of sense, maybe. Actually, no. I'm not going to bother. You see it in there? I'm not going to bother. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to wait for a new one to come, because what is there to be gained by trying to run it now? You know, I've got the turbo pipes all disconnected. It'll run like a sack of shit. Yeah, I'll just put it back together because it needs a new pulley on it anyway, doesn't it? I've ordered a pulley. That is due hopefully before Friday because I need the ramp next week. I've got a C4 coming in for a service. So, yeah, I'll basically order a belt tomorrow. I'm not here tomorrow. I'm at Festival of Speed tomorrow, but I'll order a belt tomorrow, assuming I can get signal at Goodwood. Can't always. And then have that ready for Friday. And then hopefully the pulley will turn up Friday and I can chuck it in. There's no point trying to start it now. I'm kind of intrigued, but it's not going to tell us everything. I think that's a water pump in there. Yeah, we'll just be patient. Patience is a virtue. Right, so this is what one of them pulleys should look like. Ooh, there's a lot more rubber in it. Yes. Yes. The ideal thing to do here would have been to renew this oil seal as well, but, well, I didn't know about it and I forgot about it the other day and I wouldn't have got one here in time. And if I was more organised, I would have renewed that. It wasn't leaking at all, so it was completely dry around here, which makes me think that in theory, any bits of rubber that came off that old pulley shouldn't have gone inside because this seal seems to have done its job. Because if they had, it would be all oily around here because it means it would have leaked. And as it is, it's just, I mean, this is bits of belt round here, and there was just this sludge all around here. You know, when like rubber mixes with oil, like this stuff, it's just horrendous. Like, it just sticks to everything and makes everything go black and horrible. And basically, I think, yeah, all that had happened is it lost a lot of it and gone flying. So I don't think it's gone inside. I have to get the car off the ramp today, regardless. So I don't think there's any real advantage in trying to wait a bit longer to change a seal that wasn't really leaking. And we're putting a new pulley back in. If we were putting the old pulley back in with its scored and worn nose there, then yeah, maybe that would be risky. But it's a new pulley going in, assuming it's the right spec, of course. And yeah, basically I don't have a choice, so it's gonna have to go in, and just keep fingers crossed because this is not a fun job to do. So the new pulley is here, as you've seen. That was about 100. I mean, I shopped around for that. It's a BGA. I bought this, so that's not a sponsored thing. That's the part number. Paid about 120 quid for it, I think. And basically, I mean, it's heavy. It's a heavy old thing. But yeah, the purpose of it is basically to isolate the bit that runs the belt from the vibrations in the crankshaft. So obviously you get vibrations, especially because it's a diesel, you get vibrations that go through this bit, through the nose, and they don't go through the belt driven bit, and vice versa. You don't get the sudden shock loads of the alternator or the aircon particularly cutting in, going back through into the crankshaft. So it's basically, it's a two-way thing. It just, well, it's a damper. It's just isolating one from the other as much as possible. But obviously the rubber has gone minging and it's fallen apart. Now I'm not going to guarantee you that if you've got a noisy engine, and I don't know if you're watching this because you want to see what happens, you'd rather I stop talking, but if you've got this engine and you've got this noise, it could be this. And this isn't a BMW engine thing. These were known on HDI engines back in the day. Lots of cars have these. I mean, the BX16 valve, which is one of them, that has this. It has less rubber in it, but it does have this. So this one, as I say, making some horrible noises. The noises were coming because this outer part here was loose on the inner part, and it was actually hitting the engine. So you can see here the witness marks where it's been chattering away, and actually there's one there as well, I think. Is that? Yeah, one there. So it's been smacking the engine. So that's the noise it's been making. So I'm hoping, is anything above as well? Yeah, there's one up there as well. I'm hoping that's what this noise is. And the reason I'm talking a lot is because I'm so anxious to put it back together and find out. But if I put this on and the noise goes, we are laughing. If it doesn't go, then this car is in for a world of pain, or we're all in for a world of pain. Let's be positive. Let's do this. So I've cleaned the threads. I'm going to have to reuse these bolts. I don't know if you're supposed to reuse them or renew them. They don't look like stretch bolts, but who knows. A dab of Loctite I think I'll put on just in case. And talk to spec by going on them. And we'll just see what happens basically. Also got a new belt. The old one looked okay, to be honest. No real damage or anything on it, but it's been through a rough time for the sake of the money, although this was still about 20 quid. Yeah, for the sake of the money, I'm going to renew it. I'm going to give it every chance it's got. Right, so the new belt is on. Actually, easier to put it back together than I thought it was going to be, especially as I had a diagram. That pulley there, which is the tensioner pulley, is a smooth pulley with little tiny grooves in it. So you wouldn't think it's the one that the front of the belt runs on, but yeah, so that's on. So basically the plan now would be try and remember what I've taken off, because I don't want to put it all back together before I start it, because I want to make sure it works. So the minimum that I need to put it back together and get it going, I think it's just going to be the engine mount. But I've got all these crappy bloody bits of plastic that go in there and panel it off, and part of us like, do they really need to go back in? I guess they do, but I suppose it's to stop the, because the bonnet's got the headlights poking through it, so rain will come in. So I guess that's to stop water getting in through the into the engine bay. But right, well anyway, that bit's on, so I shall continue with the rest of it. I'm not filming all of me fiddling with it, because I'm just basically stood here sweating, swearing, getting the ump. Right, it's not back together, it's not done, but I think it's back together enough to try running it. The pulley's on, the belt's on, the engine mounts are in, they're tightened, boost pipe's back on. Moment of truth, I genuinely don't know whether this is going to tell us anything, whether it's just going to run sweetly with no timing chain issues, whether the timing chain is still going to be making a noise and that was something different. So, well, I start it, I guess. Right, so I've put the aircon on and the belt is fine. I'm hearing a noise still, but I can't figure out what sort of noise it is. And I also don't know if it's coming from the timing chain area. It's kind of, it is the sort of noise that a chain would make if it's rubbing against something, but I've also noticed that sensor's got no bolt holding it in. These are loose because I haven't put these back on yet, but that's all looking good. I mean, has that sound deadening panel got anything to do with that? I wouldn't have thought so. Hasn't got much sound deadening in it. No difference at all. It's going to spray everywhere if I take this off. Ugh. It's literally sprayed on the phone. I don't think that is coming from that timing chain area, you know? I don't think it is. I mean, I'm hearing a noise, but I don't know how normal the noise is. And it doesn't sound like it's coming from there. It sounds like it's coming from here. It could be the injection... it could be the injection pump. It is a diesel. they are noisy. I don't think it is the chain. Nasty. So the problem is, the day we diagnosed this, it was the end of the day. I'm not going into details because it's all kind of like a bit personal life type thing, but everyone was having a bad day, everyone was in a bad mood, a somber mood, and they pulled up outside. This thing's making a funny noise. I can't remember the noise now, to be honest with you, but it sounded a bit like the noise I'm hearing there, but maybe not exactly the same. But that's constant. That's completely constant. If it was a chain slapping and hitting something, it would not be consistent. It wouldn't go up with the revs and then come down again. It would sort of, you know, when you rev it, it would tighten, or one side of it would tighten, the other side would loosen, and then when you come off the throttle, it would reverse and go the other way. That's why when you've got loose chains, normally, they only make a noise in certain conditions. They don't do it all the time. Well, not in my experience anyway. Maybe everyone will say I'm talking shite, but... So I can't remember the exact noise it made, but obviously that pulley was absolutely goosed. So that could have been making a noise. And when I drove it here, it was like proper slapping, making some horrible noises. But it wasn't doing that when we first diagnosed this. And we're going back, this is 2 months ago now at least that we diagnosed it. It's been off the road 2 months. And there's a chap on the end here in another unit, he knows these engines, and he said it sounded like the chain at the time. But I don't think that is now. So it's possible that it was the pulley. And the noise was just throwing us, and everyone wasn't quite in the right state of mind to diagnose it, and the fella on the end wanted to go home. There's just so many noises coming from so many places. I don't think it is the chain. That's my gut feeling, it's not the chain. Look, is this an aluminium bonnet? Nope. Stop it. I don't think it's the chain. But there is another thing I can do to test, kind of to try and set my mind at rest. Oh, that rhymes, that's horrible. When they brought it down here that day where we thought it was the chain, I drove it back for her, because if it is about to pop, I've got more chance of being able to push it to the side of the road. And I noticed that the noise was noticeable when you drove the car and when you're coming on and off the throttle, like it would be with a chain. Well, of course, if it's the pulley that was making that noise will go away if I drive it now, and it won't be doing it anymore. So that's what I do. We put it back together and try driving it. Right, well, only one thing for it. Ooh, there's a Ford Focus ST over there, and he's trying. Bless him. Speaking of trying, I feel like I've got boost leak. Drivetrain fault. So what's leaking? I'm in limp mode. This is annoying. especially as I've taken the top don out. Right, so I'm in limp mode. Oh, the engine just cut out. Ah, but it's supposed to, isn't it? If I put the handbrake on, this is nifty. Watch this. It started again when I touched the steering. Yeah, it's in limp mode. That's really annoying. Why are you in limp mode? It sounded like it had a boost leak. But, I mean, I have taken that boost pipe off, but I put it back on. And as far as I can see, there's only one way to put it back on. That's not hard to sort out. The main thing is the noise. The noise is gone. The noise is definitely gone. This is good. So it seems the noise is gone. There is another problem. It won't rev past 3,000. So there's obviously some kind of boost. I can't think what could have come off. There's any. I mean, unless it's just a boost pipe to the intercooler. It's a really crap design, so maybe it's just the clip that holds it on or something. Maybe I have to have another look at that. But other than that, I think we've got away with one here. So not the most eventful video, but maybe a lesson to us all. It's not always the worst case scenario. Sometimes it can be something more simple. Also, whoever it was at BMW who decided to put this engine in these cars, from a mechanic's point of view, is a gobshite.